So the markets are dumping, but personally, I am not worried at all. This is a perfect opportunity to DCA into your positions and continue to accumulate. We've been given a gift by the whales once again. So this is nothing more than another FUD storm to try and shake you out of your position. So don't be fooled and make sure you subscribe to the channel, as we're bringing pretty much daily content here covering some of the upcoming trends in the crypto landscape. And in today's video, going over some altcoins that I think are super bullish and looking at some of the opportunities in this market right now. And if you want additional content plus my picks before they hit the YouTube scene, then check out my Patreon link down below. So here we have it, a crash being caused by more China FUD. So old FUD, new BTC price dip, weeks old China crypto ban sparks Bitcoin drop to 42K. And we actually dipped a little bit below 42K here. So this is a rather big red candle to see on the screen and would have shaken some individuals out. We've also seen a lot of liquidations occur over the last 24 hours. So going from around 45K down to 42K, this was pretty much a reiteration of previous announcement. So Molly Big Magic DAO, go and give her a follow on Twitter. Very insightful for all Chinese related news here. Saying that this announcement doing the rounds once again was a previous post from earlier in the month. So this is just old news being recycled. So she says the market already heard the rumors around mid-September and reacted on those FUDs by then. Do not fall for the same FUD again, as this started to circulate through chat apps like WeChat and Weibo. So the whales are playing this game excellently right now, using old FUD, pushing it through the media to do its cycle and cause price to capitulate. Luke Martin put here, the nice part about China continuing their crackdown on all things crypto is they will soon run out of bans to announce, which is very true. They've already banned mining, kicked out all their miners. They've been distributed across the globe now. They've banned crypto derivatives trading as well, and now banning all transactions. So any China FUD today reduces the risk going forward. So this just means that as we go forward in time, it's like the boy who cried wolf. You can only hear the same crap time and time again before you just totally overlook it. And there will come a day where this is all overlooked and the whales will have to use different narratives and different stories to try and shake people. And funnily enough, this comes on the same day as the options expiry. So the quarterly expirations took place. The max pain price point was around 44,000 bucks. We were trading just above that region around 45K and then came crashing through that. And so we had the perfect ingredients to start washing out traders. And we see over on BuyBT, the amount of liquidations over the last 24 hours totaling $421 million. By the time today's done, we'll probably be close to $500 million. As you can see, 287 million in longs and 134 million in short positions liquidated. And this is why it's super hard to actually trade in this industry. Even as a buy and hold type of guy, it gives you gray hairs. But imagine actually trying to trade this stuff when you've got the powers that be who can switch up the news narratives or celebrities tweeting out specific things and causing the price to react in such a volatile manner. Especially if you're trading on leverage, you can get wiped out very quickly and easily. So if you are making money in the market actively trading, hats off to you. But for me, I have not got the stomach for that. But on the same day, we're getting very positive news as well. So iOS users will soon be able to send and receive Bitcoin tips on Twitter. So Jack Dorsey making it his life goal to further the Bitcoin cause and get it absolutely everywhere. This is a major integration by Twitter now. You can set this up on your profile through an iOS device. And down here you can see you can link the likes of your Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, Chipper, Bandcamp, Razorpay, even a GoFundMe, and of course, Jack Mallers' Strike app as well. So this will help improve cross-border economies. And this was highlighted in Jack Mallers' video down here. Well worth watching this. He's got a guy over in El Salvador sat in a Starbucks and using the Lightning Network with that guy's Twitter account, utilizing the Strike API and the Twitter payment integration, he's able to send $10 pretty much instantaneously to that guy in El Salvador. So this wipes away the concerns that Bitcoin can't be used as a payments method, as the guy literally bought a coffee with his BTC. So Jack posts that what the internet did for communication, Bitcoin and the Lightning Network is doing for money. Give this a view, super interesting. Major upgrade when you're seeing the social media giant Twitter hop on board with 2 feet here And on top of this, in a macro perspective as well, pretty much a copy paste from the Fed. The Bank of England yesterday reiterated they will leave the base rate unchanged at 0.1%, and tapering is not tapering off, but quantitative easing will continue, and it's projected that will continue in towards January or February of 2022. So this all leads towards a major bull run during the last quarter of this year. So this is what we expect, and any dips right now are to be bought up. So whilst things start to look a little bit bloody here, this is definitely an opportunity to continue DCAing into this market, and that's exactly what I'm doing. And we're pretty much close to payday for most people right now, so not a bad time to be getting in. If I just filter here by the last 24 hours and we look at the biggest losers, no real surprise here with that China ban. You're seeing two of the Chinese exchanges, Huobi and OKB, taking some of the hardest hits across the industry. So into the altcoin news and updates. So here we have Do Kwon, the leader of Terraform Labs, with Terra white paper 2.0, rather tongue-in-cheek. Essentially, the abstract, the introduction, everything in here just says a decentralized economy needs decentralized money, on repeat, literally. And as we can see from this tweet here with the Bart Simpson, that is rather amusing, and he offers this guy a job. And so now we have an official meme lord and community shitposter from Jimmy. But the Luna token and UST are going to be a very important piece of the crypto puzzle here. As they say, you can't have decentralized finance with centralized stablecoins. We're seeing USDT, USDC being targeted, and the Terra UST coin is going to be untouchable from the SEC standpoint. They can try and say it's not tradable on US exchanges, but you can't actually kill it. And as demand for UST inevitably grows, the amount of Luna being burned will increase more and more. And Luna's actually been one of the best performers over the last 24-hour period. With a shakeout earlier in the week, we went down to around 26 bucks at the lows, and we already popped above 38 bucks and currently trading around $34. They had a TFI Alpha talk from New York a few days ago. This was well worth a watch. It's around 3 hours in duration, but plenty of timestamps where you can see some of the talks from the upcoming projects on the Terra ecosystem that will launch once Columbus 5 upgrade occurs, which is just 5 days away now. The amount of Luna reduced from the total supply here, over 700,000 tokens have now been burned over this past 5-day period. So super bullish on the Luna token, and it's just a matter of time that the combination of the Columbus 5 upgrade and that increased usage and demand for UST plus this supply shock from the continual burning just means the number will go up. Next up, we have an update here for TrustSwap. As you can see, in the last week we were covering this with their 7 days 7 announcements. We got up to announcement 3 last Friday. Everything was looking rather rosy before the market absolutely rugged us, and so TrustSwap took a bit of a nosedive here, unfortunately, now trading down to around $1. Market cap $90 million only. So a quick run through of these 7 days of announcements. Announcement number 1 was the addition of TrustSwap on the Binance Smart Chain. Second up, we have the sponsoring of a major esports team in the Dota 2 Championship, and this gets millions of viewers. Amanda Nunes, the UFC fighter, was then sponsored for day 3. Day 4 saw a Conflux integration as these guys start to use things like vesting as a service and token locks. And then day 5 here was an Algorand further integration with some of the toolkit of TrustSwap being integrated by the Algorand blockchain. Day 6 then with the swappable NFT marketplace of TrustSwap getting an exclusive partnership with Haas and Company, and this really takes things to the next level because these guys are all about fine art. So no more memes being traded on this NFT marketplace. They're going for high-end stuff, and I think that's going to attract serious investors and serious collectors. And then finally rounding this off, and an extension of that, is the fact that the Titanic official NFT collection will go on swappable as well. So this is no mean feat, and this shows that they're just going after that high-end caliber. They're going for like historical things here. Of course, there was only ever one Titanic, and getting those official NFTs are going to bring serious eyeballs to the swappable NFT platform. So a big shout out again to the TrustSwap team here. But unfortunately, those 7 day 7 announcements were kind of rugged by the fact the Bitcoin market took a dump. Now, next up, a major opportunity here is in the Polkadot ecosystem and just holding Polkadot tokens to bond to parachains. After we kind of recovered from the Fed saying no tapering, saying rates will remain the same, Polkadot started to shoot back up rather quickly. And I'm sure a lot of people are rather upset today of the fact that they were probably buying the top here and rushing in to scoop up the DOT token. And it's now dropped down to around $28. So definitely a good price point to be getting in with Polkadot. As parachains are coming, they're going to be coming soon. And once that happens and the official announcement comes through, we're going to see a big green candle on this screen and potential all-time high. They've got the Sub-Zero conference. So this is all the substrate builders coming together between the 13th and 14th of October. So just under 3 weeks time. I would imagine that if we have not got parachains penciled into the diary by this point, this is where they will actually officially announce it. So potentially up until the 13th of October, you've got time to continue adding to your Polkadot bag. And then that will give you the right to bond that DOT to a parachain of your choosing. And if it wins a slot, you're going to be given a load of those ecosystem tokens, which could be very valuable. Just check out Moonriver. Next up here, we have Ramp DeFi, a fan favorite of mine. Market cap currently 100 million. These guys pursuing multi-chain to the max here. They've been talking with the likes of the FANTOM team recently and also have Avalanche on the radar. The price was looking super bullish earlier this month before the market rugged us. And it went down all the way to around 25-26 cents, which is pretty much where we're sitting right now. Saw a high of almost 50 cents here. And so a simple 2x will take us to a price we were at just a couple of weeks back. In terms of my position here on the Ramp app, I've got my Ramp staking on Binance Smart Chain earning 35% APY, and I have levered this up a little bit, so I do watch for my liquidation price, which is currently around 13 cents. But this has allowed me to borrow Ramp stablecoins against my staked assets here, buy more Ramp, and just leverage this position to the hilt. I didn't take it too far, nothing too serious. I didn't take out the maximum amount of loan, so I'm not worried at this point. But if we get down to a price point of around 19-20 cents, I will just repay that loan. If we go over to the DAO section here, and this kicked off very recently, there's been a load of proposals put forward by the community. This is great to see. People are literally getting all their ideas out there, and then we are able to vote upon these and see which ones we want to go through. And there's a really interesting one down here about insurance protocols. And they've taken this one step further. Lawrence in the AMA this week mentioned that they're having progressive and active talks with Nexus Mutual to try and integrate an insurance primitive directly onto the site so we can get some kind of additional exposure to insurance for Ramp staking positions. And this will help onboard more users. When you can take out insurance on your positions, you can sleep easier at night. And I think this will also help with additional liquidity of bigger players as well. Then hitting the news was this Ethereum-based gaming altcoin surges after launching on crypto exchange Binance. And this was none other than Illuvium. I am an Illuvium holder, as I'm sure many of you at home are as well. And what did this do? Well, this sent the price on a bit of a moon mission. We were down here before the announcement around $436, and this got Giga sent all the way to $624. So that is the power of a Binance listing. And you can see down here from the volume profile that additional liquidity that Binance can provide was absolutely injected in here. So a market cap around $315 million, and the game due to be released in Q1 of 2022. This is rather exciting. Also additional to this, not just a Binance listing this week, but also a KuCoin listing as well. So you've now got tier 1 exchange listing and an additional tier 2. And if we just go to the markets here, KuCoin's yet to be added, but you've got Binance, Gate, and SushiSwap and KuCoin in the mix. So 1 tier 1 and 2 tier 2 exchanges. On that note, to become a real $1 billion plus protocol, you have to have tier 1 exchange exposure. Without having the likes of a Huobi, Binance, or a Coinbase, it is very, very unlikely you can hit those kind of market caps. And to even hit a market cap of $150 million, over 85% of cryptos with a market cap that big do have tier 1 exposure. So centralized exchanges are very important. This is where the big boys play, and this is where you can get people coming into your project with serious size. So this is definitely very bullish for the development of Illuvium. Next up, we have Chainlink. This is possibly the most undervalued blue chip of them all right now. If you're looking for a top, I think it's actually positioned 13th right now, but this should be in the top 10, no doubts in my mind. And if we exclude the likes of stablecoins, it probably is. But everyone talks about this only when the price is going up. And that's the unfortunate part of media, YouTube, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, because price is the best marketing tool out there. As soon as things are pumping, everyone starts talking about it, gets loads of eyeballs and gets a lot of attention. So if you are buying and willing to buy at $36 now, you've almost got a 50% haircut on that, and we're down to $22 only. In terms of a low risk play on the market right now, Chainlink has to be one of the best bets. And this is another one I'm going to be continuing to DCA into at these low price levels. I think that is super, super undervalued for Link. And you want to time the markets like this. You want to be buying these red days. And then when you hear everyone talking about Chainlink, you want to have had your position already stacked up by that point. So Link for me, definitely one to be adding to. Of course, not financial advice, just my thought process. Over onto pre-sales here. Paid Ignition has had a few gaming tokens as of late. This is the next one up, but this is all to do with AI, and to be honest with you, this one doesn't sound too interesting, but they have had a few previous ones like Monster and Thetan Arena that did look rather juicy. And so I'm still looking out for all these pre-sales, seeing what looks good and what is upcoming. Paid potentially isn't bad price to get into. I think it's around 50 odd cents right now. You probably need to hold around 10,000 paid tokens to have a really good chance of getting some lottery ticket wins under your belt. So that will put this in a price category of around 5,000 US dollars. Another Launchpad program I'm looking at as well is Star Terra, but you need to hold 3,000 of these Star Terra tokens to get into one of these three factions. They have a good APR on this. You can get around 24% on your staked coins, but 3,000 tokens at $5 is a 15K buy-in. So for me, this has put me off, because if I had 15K to spare right now, I would rather inject that directly into Luna before Columbus 5 than spend that on a pre-sale based token that, you know, when the market goes down, these won't have any value whatsoever. So for me personally, I'm not getting involved at this price level. I'd want to see that price come down quite significantly for me to be really interested. Then the Avalanche ecosystem, you're going to see so much FOMO about this. I do feel like the majority of the run may have already been made on the Avalanche ecosystem. I may have to eat my words on that one. But people have been in this getting huge multiples on their money over the last couple of months. Joe was well under $1, and the vast majority of these were sub 10 and $20 million market caps. So buying now, just know that you are buying the bags of others who will probably dump on your head at some point soon. The best picks, of course, easy ones are Joe, because this is, of course, the biggest exchange, will have the greatest volume going through it, so has a very good chance of continuing to grow. I would not be surprised to see that at $1 billion market cap or even 2 billion. But my pick of the bunch here would be to go into Benki. This is essentially a borrow lend platform, just like Aave, and these guys may be looking to go cross-chain, so this will not just be on Avalanche, and this will add some serious strings to the bow. They've also got some really big backers behind them that will need to get this market cap a lot higher so they can exit their positions via OTC trades. Then looking at the likes of a pre-sale token at Avalanche, 42 million market cap is rather high, as we have not seen anything out of this so far. And looking at the already established projects, it's not like you're going to get one of these coming out the gate and hitting a $50 million market cap. So not a huge deal of options here, but for me, the value pick would be Benki. And then over to the FANTOM ecosystem. This one again has been drained nicely for some entries here. My play over here is SpookySwap, but I have been eyeing up Popsicle Finance, the ICE token, but it's up 150% over the last 7 days. I kicked myself for not getting involved once I heard about this. This is from the same developer as Magic Internet Money, which is the stable coin on the one side to the Spell ecosystem. And that's from the Abracadabra Money guys. So I think the guy's name is like Daniel Siesta, and he's a DeFi dev with some real clout right now because Magic Internet Money is doing very, very well, as it is a decentralized stable coin. So this is his second project, Popsicle Finance. Check it out. Essentially, it aggregates a load of yield from different blockchains, but you can invest in one tidy portal. So a nice little project there. Market cap now $80 million. I would like to see a retrace before entering into this one, but it could go a lot higher. And then in terms of that layer 1 protocol coin, FANTOM, at a market cap of just under $3 billion. And you're seeing the likes of Avalanche up to around 14 billion now. I think this would be a better value pick if you're going for a new L1. So there we have it, my rundown of the current market status here. I think we are in the midst of a whale-based FUD storm trying to shake us out, and this is representing a nice opportunity to continue DCAing into some of our valuable positions, a few of which I've highlighted here. And there's a few low cap altcoins on my radar now that I want to get involved with, and I will release those first primarily over on my Patreon. So check that out via the link down below, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's content. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.